draws Jordan now. Watch this.
Okay, if you love the game of basketball, then you obviously know what's gonna happen next. You've probably seen this countless amount of times. But if you're sitting there wanting me to press play because somehow you're not familiar with this play, then
what's wrong with you?
Alright, let's get to the point. This video isn't really about the play itself. I would be insulting your intelligence if I thought you guys were unaware of this iconic play. But trust me, you won't believe what happened about a month prior to this legendary moment. Growing up, Allen Iverson was absolutely obsessed with Air Jordan. I mean, who wasn't? But AI's obsession with the GOAT was second to none. He literally wanted to be like Mike. He called himself MJ's #1 fan. And the way he used to watch MJ's games is evident of that. As a little kid, Iverson would get up to the TV screen as close as possible to watch the Chicago Bulls games. So close, to the point where his mom would fear of him going blind. And when he would witness the Knicks and Pistons beat Jordan up, he would literally sit there and cry.
Why are you crying?
He would get so upset whenever Jordan lost a game. And sometimes, that behavior would annoy his dad. Iverson's dad used to say, "Why are you crying over him? You don't even know that guy." But deep down inside, Iverson felt like he did know him. Quote, "It felt like he was a part of me." During Iverson's high school years, basketball wasn't his only gig. He was actually a pretty talented football star as well. He was very versatile on the field, playing multiple positions on the team, and it looked like he possibly could have had a bright future in the sport. But ultimately, he knew he had to go with basketball. There was no way he could let the opportunity of playing in the NBA slip away. Coming out of Georgetown University, he went #1 overall to the Philadelphia 76ers, and almost immediately, you can see this guy was good. In just his very first NBA game, Iverson would put up an impressive 30 points against the Milwaukee Bucks, showing that he definitely belongs in the league. But his second NBA game was where the lights would get even brighter. On November 2nd, 1996, already, he found himself going up against his idol, Michael Jordan, and the defending champions Chicago Bulls. Iverson was in complete awe when Jordan first stepped on the court. He described that first ever encounter by saying, "He really didn't look human. He didn't look like he was real to me at all. He looked like he was glowing. I'm looking down like, damn, he's got on the Jordans." And he even got to see Jordan receive his 4th ring before the game. But still, Iverson knew that he had a job to do, so when the ball was thrown up in the air, he just had to go out there and play. But unfortunately, he couldn't really duplicate the kind of game he had in his debut, as the Bulls easily blew out the Sixers, and no words were really exchanged between the two at all on the court. Then, about a month and a half later, on December 21st, 1996, the Bulls were in town, visiting the Sixers, AI's second meeting against his childhood hero. And this time, Iverson played much better, dropping 32 points, while Jordan dropped 31 points. But yet again, Chicago got the victory. And similar to the previous game, Iverson and MJ didn't directly communicate with each other on the court. But Michael did share his thoughts about the rookie after the game.
All right, we're awaiting the arrival of Michael Jordan. Michael finished up tonight's game with 30 points, 12 of 29 from the floor, and the forearm shiver comes from MJ. Talk a little about Allen Iverson for a second. I want to know what you think of his game. He had 32 points, but 9 turnovers.
Well, I mean, he's very confident, and I think I can understand where he's coming from. He wants to be respected in this league, and he certainly has the right skills and the approach to this game. I think he's going to have to learn a lot to improve his game and just all around.
Is he the quickest guy you've faced?
He's very quick. Him as well as Stoudemire, and I think both of those guys are very, very quick. And as long as we come up with the win, I can care less.
Thanks, Michael.
Sure.
Bulls win at 111-105. Their 6th consecutive win. Steve Cascio takes it after this.
As the season went on, The Chicago Bulls would continue to display their dominance, wreaking havoc all over the league. And as for Iverson, he would continue to build his case for Rookie of the Year. And when the 1997 All-Star Weekend came along, that's when him and Michael would officially meet. But it wasn't what Iverson expected at all. Iverson was preparing to participate in the rookie game at All-Star Weekend when suddenly he crossed paths with Michael Jordan. And right after the initial eye contact they had with each other, Jordan simply said, "What's up, you little b***?" And of course, Iverson was very confused at first, but then immediately tried to brush it off by saying, "Alright man," as they both went their separate ways. Now, going back to before Iverson was even drafted, he used to say to his friends and family that if I get the greatest player to ever play the game on me, I'm gonna try my move on him. So after what Mike just said, after calling him a little I think it's safe to say that Iverson was gonna try and get him the very next time they played each other. And what do you know, literally a month later, he would get his chance for some sweet revenge. It was March 12th, 1997. With Jordan's harsh words still fresh in his mind, Iverson was looking to ball out. You can tell that he was on a mission. No more Mr. Nice Guy. He didn't look at MJ as his idol that night. Throughout the game, MJ and AI were both getting buckets. But just like the previous 2 games before this, they never really guarded each other because they played different positions, except for right here when Jordan had Iverson on him and would connect on an and-one play.
Michael, yes, foul, score the field goal. I think that's on Iverson, his third.
And after that, literally moments later, Iverson would get the last laugh. A laugh that would be heard for many years to come. If you pay close attention, you can hear Coach Phil Jackson say, "Michael, and finally, just like he told his friends and family, he knew it was time to try his move on the best.
Iverson has Jordan. The crowd is into it. Allen shakes free. Gets 2. Mike said no. Allen said yes.
Iverson later shared with us what was going on in his head. Quote, "All I saw was him, and I just backed up, gave him a little one, and he went for it. And I was like, oh yeah, I got his ass now." He also said that after the game, he wasn't really aware of what he just did. Like, he knew it was a good move and all, but he didn't think it was that big of a deal. But then, when little kids started to go up to him and ask him, "Hey, are you the guy that crossed Jordan?" Only then, it hit him that he did something special. Many years later, when Iverson was at a Hornets game, Jordan invited him up to his office, where Iverson expressed how much he loved him growing up. And that's when Jordan said, "You don't love me. You wouldn't have crossed me like that if you loved me." The two remain great friends to this day. Another interesting but very sad fact was that about a week or so before the crossover, Iverson was in LA, where he met rap superstar Biggie Smalls. And Iverson even gave a pair of his shoes to him. The two became friends almost instantly. But unfortunately, soon after, Iverson's mother drove to his place to tell him that Biggie had been murdered. And guess what? The famous crossover was just 3 days after he learned of the tragic news, which possibly contributed to why he was so cold-blooded that game. And after that game, he definitely earned the respect from the entire world. And that crossover was what kicked off his Hall of Fame career. Alright guys, feel free to comment down below what you think of this incredible story. And if you wouldn't mind, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.